This is James Holder for IFL TV. I'm at Leeds Town Hall today for the Maxi Nutrition card put on by me. With me, I've got Dominic Ingle from the legendary Ingle Gym. How are we doing, Dom?
We're doing very good, thank you.
Good. Tough night's work for yourself. Carl Baker on the bill today against Eddie Chambers. Always looked like a hard job for Carl, this one.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you got to admire him for stepping up to the plate. He only got a couple of days' notice, but he's always in the gym ticking over. But you know, Eddie's world class. I think he's rated in the top 10. He's been in with Klitschko, acquitted himself quite well. So you know, he's a smooth operator. He knows what he's doing. But you know, Cole, he went in there and had a go, and obviously he got caught in the eye with the thumb, and it scratched his lens. So you know, pulled him out.
Was that the decision that you took to?
Yeah, I looked at him. He got caught in the eye, and I thought, you know, you need two eyes and two hands to fight Eddie Chambers, and you know, he was losing the first 3 rounds, and I couldn't see it really improving from that. So you know, it's just an experience for him.
Looking at some of the fighters you guys have produced, from your dad to yourself, how do the current crop of fighters compare to those fighters? Now we're looking at the likes of Johnny Nelson, Ryan Rhodes, Prince Nazim, all the way along. How do the current crop of fighters compare to them? The likes of Galahad, Shafiq, Jordan Gill. How would they in comparison to those?
Yeah, fighters? I mean they're all doing good. I mean all the way through. You know, obviously when Brendan first started out, he's running everything, and me and John helped out. And as Brendan's got older, he's still in the gym. You know, it's just that we do more of the running around. You know, when he was young, he did all the running around. So nothing's changed much. You know, he sits back and enjoys the boxing. He's still in the gym every day, teaching the kids. But you know, we develop a lot of these kids from being young. You know, they're not
from the amateurs.
From the amateurs, you know, some of them only have an handful of amateur fights. We don't particularly take them through the amateur system. You know, Galahad only won CYP's finals. You know, Ryan Rose on the other hand won lots of ABAs and National Association Boys Clubs. So did Kell Brook, so did Nazim Ahmed. So you know, it's different. But the one thing about them all is they all develop a style, you know, to suit you know, their ability. And you know, we brought Kid Galahad all the way through from being 14. Atif Shafiq, he came in, I think it was about 14 or 15, and it takes, you know, 7 or 8 years to bring them through. So what you're getting now is you're getting the surge of kids that were, you know, flying under the radar when Junior Witter was world champion and Johnny Nelson was just finishing his career. These kids were all in the gym. You know, coming through in the amateurs, and now it's their day in the sun. Jordan Gill, he was a very good amateur. You know, his dad trained him from down Cambridge. Lee Wood, he was from Nottingham, but you know, when he was on the GB squad when he was young, he was always coming in the gym and training, and eventually he turned pro. So they're all coming good, they're all improving, and you know, it's a good crop of kids. But to compare them, yeah, I don't know yet. We'll have to wait and see. They've got a few more years to go before they reach the levels of Junior Witter, Ryan Rhodes, Nazim Ahmed and Johnny Nelson. You know, 2 or 3 years time, I think we'll be able to answer that question better.
Fighter that I think doesn't get enough coverage. He's top of the bill today, British champion Bob Ajasaf. I think so many characters in your gym, so many people that are a bit extroverted, a bit loud. I think sometimes he slips under the radar a little bit, and he is a great fighter, isn't he?
You know, I don't know whether it's our gym, but we seem to attract the fighters who end up in the Who Needs Them type of club. I think when all else fails, them type of fighters, they end up down at our gym because I don't think anybody else can do anything with them. And that was the case. You know, Bob's brother brought him down to our gym. He'd had a few fights, and he just said, you know, I think he'd be suited to your style. And I said, what's that? He must be an awkward fighter. He went, yes, very awkward. But it's developing that awkwardness and putting it into, you know, a particular style. And I think, you know, Bob's done that. And it's been a struggle with Bob because nobody, after his good performance against Tony Bellew, and I think, you know, Bob was the first fighter.
It was very close.
Yeah, very close. And, you know, first fighter to drop Tony Bellew. I think Tony Bellew was surprised. And I think after that we really found it hard to find him work. And, you know, everybody we got in touch with, promoters, no, we're not interested. And it's been a long slog with Bob, but finally, you know, we've got him the British title. He's fighting tonight, Maxi Nutrition semi-final, and you know, he's in Leeds, it's his hometown. They've turned out for him, and hopefully he'll be one of many in Leeds Town Hall for Bob, and we can, you know, get some decent fights here for him.
Have you got any update for me on Kell Brook? Can you let me know as to what's going on with Kell? Is there any news?
Yeah, you know, Kell Brook's been in serious training for the last 4 weeks. You know, he's always ticking over, but for the last 4 weeks, as you can see tonight, he looks in good shape. He's good on his weight. He's fit. He's focused. He knows that the date can be sprung on him any time, and we're preparing for that. So you know, it's whenever the date comes up, the date comes up. But we're giving it, you know, the short notice. We're anticipating 6 weeks. I think it'll be longer than that, but you know, he'll be ready in 6 weeks if that fight comes off in 6 weeks. So we're fully prepared. You know, he's on it. We're already 3 steps in front. So you know, as soon as Eddie names that date or whatever comes up, you know, we're not going to be saying no, that's not enough time. We need to do this. He's going to be ready.
Do you think you can get him back to that peak or he was before the first Devon fight, where he looked absolutely fantastic?
Who?
Kell Brook.
Before the first Devon fight?
Before the fight that got called off, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying
because
he will.
Looking at some of the clips, sorry to interrupt you, he looked in fanatic shape before that fight.
Yeah, obviously because he did a couple of pull-outs and he kept training. But yeah, he'll be in good shape. He'll be, he's going to be in the best shape of his life for this fight. He's got to be. It's a world title fight, and there's always something what drives you on. Even when you're up against eliminates everything else, it's the world title fight where you see a lot of fighters really switch on. We saw it with Darren Barker. We saw it with lots of British fighters who finally come to the final hurdle of a world title fight, and they step up to the plate, and they develop something else. They find it. They dig deep within themselves, and they find that extra push. And that's what's going to happen with Kell Brook. It's the biggest fight of his career.
Kid Galahad, Commonwealth strap added to that European title, looking for world honours now. Yeah,
I'm saying he's only 24 years old. He's coming to the end of the season. I think his next fight's going to be in September, and Mick Ennis is looking for a top 10 opponent for him. And we're going to keep calling out everybody else in the meantime, and hopefully somebody's going to take up the challenge. But like I said before, on many occasions, everybody's looking one step in front of them. So they're not particularly looking behind themselves for Kid Galahad, although he considers himself up with them. They're all going somewhere else. So you've just got to keep chasing along and calling them out and getting the wins and looking impressive while you do it.
How confident are you with putting Barry Kid Galahad in with someone like Carl Frampton at this moment in time?
Yeah, I'm saying we said a long time ago we'd put him in. I mean, Carl Frampton's is a decent kid, so is Scott Quigg. But I think the fight we fancy is Scott Quigg. It could probably be made easier than it could be against Frampton. But both difficult fights, but we'll just have to wait and see.
Them three could have a couple of three great fights, couldn't they? Could really run that.
Yeah, depending how the fights go. I mean, obviously, if Barry goes in and knocks one of those guys out, or knocks Frampton out, or Quigg, there's probably nothing left for either of them. But if it's a close fight, then obviously you can always can drag a bit of a trilogy out and see what happens. But they're young enough for it to happen, and they've got the fan bases to make it happen. Quigg's got a massive fan base. Frampton has. That's the fight I'd like to see. I'd like to see them bash each other up, and then Kid Galahad step in and beat them both up. But we'll have to see.
All right, well, listen, thank you for giving me a bit of your time today, Dom. I really do appreciate it.
No problem.
And next time I'm in Sheffield, if it's all right, I'd like to pop down to your gym.
Anytime you want.
Get involved a little bit, it'd be good. Thank you, sir.
No problem.
Cheers, Dom.
All right.